There he is.
Jesus. I mean, I said 6 o'clock. You called. I didn't even get to change my underwear.
I gave you till
Six oh
6:05. I
five.
like 6:05, dude. I gave you 5 minutes.
I mean, I literally pulled up the house at 6 o'clock, and I was like, "You're calling," and I wasn't even out of the car yet because I was on the phone with a work call, and I'm like, I don't even get to change my pants, take my shoes, nothing. This guy's right on it. Boom.
Well,
6:05.
when you say 6 o'clock, what do you want from me? I mean, if you need a little extra time, the smart thing to do, which I've
No,
never
no, no, no. I
accused
said
you
I'll
of
be
doing.
home at 6 o'clock.
No. And the smart thing to do, which I've never accused you of doing, is doing the smart thing would have been to say like, "Hey, I'm just gonna be home at 6. Give me a few minutes." But that's
You know what? I'm a team player. I literally just got out of the car. I hung up the phone. I'm in khakis and a
so much
polo. I'm sweating.
so much of a team player that you made zero effort to like
Zero. Yeah.
to do
No,
a
zero.
podcast for Monday ahead of time, and then you were out until like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, yeah, we're running a rerun. Sorry.
It was a good rerun you picked, though. I gotta say, I gotta tell you,
Well,
solid rerun.
I mean, that's the problem is I don't want to get in the habit of running reruns because we're
Right.
supposed to do these,
Oh, right.
and
But here
and
and
so if
there is
I'm
not a
gonna,
big deal.
but I'm saying if I'm gonna run a rerun, I might as well run one worth re-listening to. There's so many we
Right.
do, probably this one included, that are not going to be worth a re-listen.
I gotta tell you
Or
this,
if
though.
hold on, or if there's new listeners that happen to listen the first time to a rerun, maybe we can hook them with that and fool them for a few weeks.
Right, right. Well, it's funny because I made that little video for my story last night.
Mhm.
Promoting the podcast. TikTok wouldn't let me post it. It was under review for like forever, and it never got posted. So I posted it on my story, which by the way got 7,000 views.
Mhm.
So ended up having like 300 likes on the story or something like that. So word got out to a lot of people last night, and that's cool. Love it. Great. But as I was going through to find one to pick, I just stumbled upon the Billy clip and talking about how I literally, when I got on it, it was you're like on that part where he like was choking and bent over and he farted.
Mhm.
I fucking lost it, lost it because it relived that moment again for me, and I was literally in the kitchen by myself, like hysterically laughing at you describing how he bent over and farted because he was choking.
I think
Uh,
I think there are two stories that you and I share that
right,
every time we tell them,
right,
we laugh hysterically about. The ones
yeah.
that we could tell publicly, let's put it that way. And one of them is definitely the Billy one, and the other one is obviously what I'm gonna go to, right?
What?
The cookie.
Oh,
See, even now you lost your shit again.
the snatch out of the air of the cookie.
Yeah.
Oh,
See those?
because when you say the cookie, right? Like the Billy one, I remember just like that night was just hilarious. But when you say the cookie one, the minute you say it, and I literally visualized her
Right,
snatching the cookie from the air.
like a frog's
Right.
tongue. This arm just
Like
shoots out and grabs the
right. And
cookie
I
and
feel like we have to
intercepts it.
explain it now. We have to
Uh,
explain it for people who don't know.
Oh, the best thing. See the Billy one, the Billy story about Billy like almost choking to death and farting while he's about to die. Is that's more recent. It's hilarious, but like you said, it's a whole night of like story. It's part of this
Right, right,
night of so much going on.
right,
This is this isolated incident at an independent wrestling show. It was
right.
a ICW show. Our buddy,
Miami.
our
Yeah,
buddy George used to run at the Polish American Center. Is it the center or
right.
building or whatever?
Whatever. Yeah.
One of those little club type places, little bar. It was an event place. They would also hold, I guess, their Polish American meetings. I don't know. It was a group or
Right. I don't
club or
know
whatever,
either.
like a Moosehead
Right.
Lodge kind of deal. I think that place is gone now. I think the roof caved in.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, I think the fucking finally the ravages of time plus the refusal to upkeep the place and put a dime into maintaining it did it in, and I think now it's a uninhabitable building. Uh,
I didn't know that.
yeah, I think so. I think allegedly. I know one person who's listening might know more, uh, on that. But he could correct us if we're wrong. But I think the roof caved in on that place or something. But
Right.
so the story was that someone's girlfriend was sitting a few rows in front of me and a little bit off to the right. And I'm sitting there. I think I was with Valeria at the time. I might not have been. I don't remember. And you were in the ring, and you were doing your typical shtick in the ring, and like eating,
trying not to work,
like pulling
right.
food
I
out of
was
your
trying
pocket.
not to wrestle.
Right.
Right.
And so you're pulling food out of your pockets and eating it, yada yada. And at some point, I don't know if it was before. It must have been before the match. I don't think it was after the match. I don't think you wrestled with cookies in your pockets and they survived to be able to be thrown to me after the match. But I think it was before the match. You're you're standing, I think, in the corner, and you make eye
Right.
contact with me, and you're like here, like you're gonna throw a cookie at me, and as you throw it, as it's coming, this arm shoots
Right.
out like a frog's tongue grabbing a fly out of the air, from like what I felt was
Like,
one
oh,
seat
it
too
felt like
far over, like she had some stretching abilities.
no,
And-
this, like, okay, hold on. Let me just tell you from my point of view. What you're
Yeah.
saying, first of all, I felt like you were 10 rows back. So it wasn't like, in my mind, it was like I threw like a 30-yard pass.
Right. I was probably about
not
like
as far.
I was probably fourth row back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I like the throw. I was looking at you. We were dead locked eyes. Like me and you were locked eyes. I saw nobody else in that building but me and you. We were locked eyes, and this cookie was for you, pal. I was so excited to get you this cookie
Right.
because I knew it would pop you that I threw you a cookie.
Right.
Like I was just popping me and you,
Right.
and I threw it, and out of nowhere, like I mean, it was like an RKO. She came out of nowhere and just stuck up her arm. Cookie was like, I mean, if she was a second late, it was past her.
Right.
And if she was a second early,
Oh
it
no,
may have
this
bounced
was
off of
this
her.
was a dart you were throwing. This was a rocket you were throwing at me. This was
I didn't throw it soft.
Right.
Right. And
this was on a
her
rope.
hand
Yeah,
met
yeah,
the
yeah.
cookie at the perfect time. And you were in like the catching position, like, because I was looking at you and you were in the position like your hands were out, like your mouth was open.
And I'm
You
like,
were like, here's
and I'm like, I
this
can't,
fucking cookie's coming to me, baby.
and I don't want to embarrass myself and not catch it. That would be the worst thing.
Right.
And can I say,
And
when I say that all the motion was her arm, her body didn't lean over a centimeter from where it was. It was all just this arm shooting out. There was no like leaning to get it. There was no like getting up half out of your seat to get over it. It was literally just the whole body stayed perfectly up and down in the chair, and the arm just shot out like a fucking rubber band.
like I've never seen anything like that in my life. It
Reeled
was
in the cookie. Now, listen.
and
Part of the funniness, the humor of this, I'm sorry, is that also is she's like 300 pounds. Like that
Right.
adds to the humor of the
Right.
story. It is
Right.
what it is. I'm not fat shaming. We fat shame each other all the time. I'm just saying the narrative of the story, and if you were to replay it
Right.
in a movie as a scene in a comedy, obviously it plays way funnier when the person is severely overweight, and she was. So that's like of all the people to reel it in, if anyone else had reeled that cookie in, it would have been less funny.
right, it was right. But when she caught it, she caught it, and we were still locked eyes. But we both saw it happen, and we both looked back at each other.
It
and
sunk
lost
in.
It. Like
there was a
Right.
pause.
Like-
There was like a brief, like a beat, like one heartbeat,
like-
where our eyes
what the fuck?
both realized what had happened, and I think simultaneously the corners of our mouths went up at the same time. Like
Yes,
like
yes.
Like,
And we were like looking at each other. Like,
well, that's how in sync we were for the pass and reception of this cookie.
So
we were
insane.
in
Right,
fucking
right.
lockstep, and to the point where when it got intercepted, we were still like our periods had synced, and we're still in lockstep,
Right.
and we're like our both of us at the same time, the corners of our mouths go up into these big smiles, and I think we both burst out laughing at exactly the same time, and we're still staring at each other, like realizing what has happened,
like
and
in disbelief,
losing our shit, totally
right.
in disbelief, and totally
Like I forgot I had to wrestle a wrestling match.
right.
Like,
You had to go wrestle after that. I mean,
in.
what was in your head the whole time? You were probably so distracted, like thinking about what you had just witnessed.
Because even when the match started, all I could think about was because I even think like we kind of like did the opening spot and like we broke up, and I still looked at you.
I think I was still laughing.
Like laughing.
Yeah.
Right. Because you were laughing still, and like we made eye contact like one more time and kind of like both shook our heads like, what the fuck just happened? And like I couldn't even concentrate on the match at this point.
Right. Well, and so
that was
why I think that's also like it totally trumps the Billy thing in a way, because it was years before the Billy thing, and yet we still like that one's almost more ingrained in my brain. Like it takes me back there immediately. I'm back there as soon as we talk about it. And again, it's years later, and yet the second I brought it up, you burst into laughter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
because I'll never forget. I mean, I'll never forget that catch. But when I start thinking about the Billy thing, like what I literally remember most is, I mean, Billy was choking, like he was like I thought he was gonna die.
Engine red face. He was choking.
Right,
yes.
and that's not when I picture the Billy thing. One thing comes to mind, and it's literally the choking bend over fart. Like it's like a millisecond of that scene. I can tell you what he was wearing. How he was bent over.
I can tell you too.
Right. Yeah. Like I can tell you everything from that, and only that like. The moment that it's just that like 2-second moment that replays in my head where it's like choking and like over. It's like a GIF that just keeps playing over and over again. Like
it's like it's like you could, if we had it recorded, you could probably make a beat out of it. It was like cough cough fart, and you could just loop that.
Right. It's insane.
Yeah.
Right. So funny.
Oh my
God. Yeah. Good. Oh, it's a good way to start the podcast. I like that. Was a good one.
What are you gonna do? I by the way, I also want to. I just want to put. Unless you've got like anything big you want to talk about, I want to get this out of the way before I forget it. I did tweet.
Well, I just have two. I have a couple things, but go ahead.
Right. Well, I have a couple things too, but they don't have to be talked about today. I have. I celebrated a milestone. I tweeted about it. You saw it.
I saw.
I have now officially kicked 1,000 ice cubes under the fridge. I don't know.
That's a big milestone.
Listen, I don't know that I've ever picked up an ice cube. Once it hit the floor.
No, who does that?
I think unless it like scattered away from the fridge. If it scooted the other way, I would have got it. It was anywhere within vicinity of a straight kick to knock it under the fridge. I always kicked it on the fridge. I didn't know about you, but yeah.
I've never picked up an ice cube in my life. It's either I kick it or the dog eats it. Like I've never bent down to pick one up.
Yeah,
it feels like it's a waste.
This dog doesn't eat ice cubes. The funny thing, my old dog that I used to have, he loved ice cubes. He was a American Eskimo. He was white, fluffy, fucking ball of fur, about 40 pounds, tons of personality. He loved ice cubes, and for the longest time, I didn't put two and two together. And I forgot that ice cubes are fucking water. So my dog would come in from a walk. He would drink half his bowl because he's this big furry dog in South Florida. So he gets a little hot and gets thirsty. And then I proceed to give him treats during the day of ice cubes. And then I'm wondering why he always wants to go outside.
Yeah, the guy's like, I'm full of water here.
Yeah. He wouldn't have drank all that water if he had those ice cubes in him before that. But he comes in from the walk, drinks the water, and then over the course of time, I'm giving him all these ice cubes. And it took me like half a year to figure out why he was always asking to go outside. I thought he was like had a problem or something. And then like one day I just smacked myself on the forehead as I'm giving an ice cube. Go, oh, this is water. That's right. I'm like, oh, I'm giving my dog a low calorie,
that's why he's peeing.
Calorie treat that he loves. It cools him
This dog's
down.
like
He's not going to get,
off.
it's not going to give him cavities or yada
Right.
yada. And no, I'm just giving him water. No, I was retarded.
Yeah.
I was stupid. So yeah, I was really proud because we, I don't know about you, but like I think 1 out of every 3 times I actually get ice, I end up dropping a cube these days. So.
It's all the time, right? Yeah, you can't know. It happens.
I have like
a lot.
I have like a scoop because I live with a roommate and I don't necessarily want to encourage him sticking his hand in the ice, so I shouldn't either.
Right,
I have like a scoop.
Right.
And
what he doesn't know can't hurt him.
But but I don't need him sticking his hand in there. So if the scoop's in there,
he's probably thinking the same thing.
Right. So I'm but I don't pet the dog every 5 minutes like he does. So I don't need I don't need his dog fur on my ice cubes.
Right.
So so the scoop when you stick it in the thing oftentimes creates more chaos. And so So the trick is I do have a trick though. When it's starting to slide out of the fucking freezer, I'd say one out of every 3 times, I can actually catch it with my cup, and I feel like that's actually part of the whole game now. Is like there's 2 levels to this. Is trying to catch it with my cup. It becomes a game, and then if it ends up on the floor, then I could kick it under the refrigerator.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, when you guys move out, they're gonna be like, "What is all this water damage underneath the fridge?"
Right, all the tiles and stuff. I don't know I don't know. Yeah, it's probably this big water ring on the tiles and right under the fridge. Because whoever pulls the refrigerator out to clean the floor back there, not me.
Oh yeah, right. Well, you can now beat the ice cube story to death now. I think we're done with that.
All right, whatever.
I feel like
I'm sorry.
I feel like it was me telling a story, and you. I feel like the roles were reversed this time.
Listen,
and you were like,
I'm telling a story. Everyone can relate.
Story at first, but you lost me.
Wait a minute. Everyone can relate to that at least. It's not about.
It was a good story.
It's not about eating or Arby's for the 18th time and then angrily tweeting about it because they got. All right,
it was.
All right.
I mean, take it home.
All right.
Go. It's a long story.
All right.
So I got some breaking news today. Yeah, breaking news. So one thing I sent you, which I'm only going to talk about it because I think it bothers you. It bothers you that I talk about this.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Heinz beans. Heinz.
Oh, I totally know sold that.
Heinz.
Totally no sold it.
Yeah, totally no sold it. That's why I'm talking about it. So Heinz Beans, Heinz UK, who makes the beans for the beans on toast, tweeted to me today a picture of a can of beans that they photoshopped, and it says Slambino's Beans with a Z, and they sent it to me and they said this is for you, the picture. So I'm fucking in with Heinz right now. Me and Heinz UK are buddies. I think I got my own bean can.
I think it would have been better if it was Slambinos, Beanos.
Right.
Just the Heinz Slambinos.
I can
and
work
that's
on this
it.
with the marketing team over there.
Yeah.
Me and the marketing team were going to work on this at Heinz. I marked out either way because I thought it was cool. I sent it to my mom, and she's like, "Oh my god," because I just, I think it's cool. At work, I'm showing everybody today, and they're like, "Is that real?" I was like, "I mean, it could be, I'm playing it up, of course.
Yeah, but you're you're at the end of the day, how much money did you make off of it?
No, zero.
All right, okay. I just want to, before the story gets too long and boring, I just want to know how,
Somebody there took time to do that, though, because they respected me enough to say, Slambino needs his own bean.
Well, wait, wasn't that part of a tweet conversation where they were asking about something
they didn't do that for anybody else, though.
How do you know?
I went through the tweets.
You went through. You did.
But let me tell you something. They comment on all my stuff. They've tagged me in some stuff recently, and they've sent me messages. So We're in like that.
Yeah,
We've got that. Like,
but when is that going to pay? When are you going to, or at least have them send you a case of beans for you to eat on fucking TikTok or something?
Well, here comes the other breaking news.
Okay.
You ready for this?
All right.
I hope you're sitting down for this because you are gonna shit all over it.
I'm not. I'm not.
You may want to go to the.
I'm not Pat McAfee. I'm not. I don't stand while I podcast. Go ahead.
You should go to the toilet for when I announce this. So, I was reached out to by a comedian in the UK, Aaron Kraskell. He was on Vine, YouTube. He's got 15 million followers. Yada yada yada. He's super popular.
Has he ever been a comedian anywhere other than Vine and TikTok? And
well, no, he does stuff now. Like he started that way and he blew up huge. I mean, I think he's got 10 or 11 million followers on Facebook. Like, like real followers, not like the 300,000 that I have. Like, I mean, this guy is like blue check mark, next level, sponsored by Starbucks at one point. Like, this guy's like, he's the legit real deal. So he started commenting on my stuff. I get an email about an agency. They drop his name. I send him a message thinking there's no way this guy's going to see it. He responds and was like, no, I set this up. I do a Zoom call. And as of last Monday, I just kept it a secret until everything was done. I actually have an agent now. So I am represented by this agency.
Do we cheat him and how?
And no, this is legit. I am represented by them, and the contract's been signed. I am now represented by an agent. So anything that and I made sure, can I still do my podcast? And they were like, you do whatever. Yes, but any brand deals, they're going to work for me. So I was like, I got a podcast, so I'm not going to stop doing it. And they were like, no, just keep doing your thing. But now they're going to tell people about branding, all the stuff that we do. So, my TikToks and obviously the podcast and, they asked me about wrestling and I was like, I really don't want to wrestle anymore. But if there was like something that meant something, like, and it was in another country and I was flown there for free, like I would do it, if I got paid. And so I have an agent now. That TikTok finally paid off. And now,
well, not yet. Not yet. I mean, just because you have an agent doesn't mean he'll get you any gigs.
Well, we had a call this week to strategize, and some good
people.
Plans
this is probably why I had to wait one of these times to do a podcast because he was strategizing.
No. I strategized.
His Fugazi agent.
It's 12:00 in the afternoon. Like, it's my strategize time. But yeah. So the only reason I'm making it public is because I'm gonna have to put that on my page here soon, where if people want to come, because I'm getting Rockstar Energy message me about doing something for them, but. I mean, honestly, it's kind of disrespectful. We'll give you $50 in the case of Rockstar, and I'm like, no, like I'm way more worth $50.
Whoa! Yeah,
right.
But I would like some Rockstar. Why don't we do it as a podcast thing?
Listen.
And we can, we can split. Listen, $50 goes a long way towards hosting fees and website fees.
I'm not
and
here
stuff.
for the $50,
and I sometimes need an energy drink to sit through a podcast with you.
I mean, maybe I'll just send them your message and say, hey, he'll talk about it on the podcast weekly if you send them a case.
Not he, we.
Oh, it's not in my contract. I can't do that.
God.
Did
you fuck? I feel like I got told like. I feel like if the podcast starts doing well, I feel like if the podcast starts doing well and we do any endorsements here, your fucking agency is going to come in and have their hand out.
Listen.
And let me tell you something. If that happens, then there's going to be a problem.
You can take the brand deals. I won't take them for the podcast. You can have those.
No, never mind.
So you can have the money.
But
I told them I had a podcast, and I said, listen, there's certain things that I want control, and they were like, no. You just keep doing what you're doing. Like, we don't have anything to do with that. They're only going to get me deals based off TikTok. We're not even talking Instagram or Facebook or anything. It's literally TikTok only. Because I don't have a following on anything.
That's because you just crossed 3,000. That's probably a milestone.
Yeah, 300,000.
like a
Right.
like
Right. Next we're
a
gonna get the blue
level
check mark because
that they
I need
look
Howard
for.
Brody to vouch for me that I was on television.
Oh my god!
Uh, but yeah, so I have an agent now,
Can't
and
people just go on
I'm pretty excited.
Amazon and look?
No, they took it off apparently.
Oh really? It was
God,
probably underperforming.
right. Well, you had to pay like $1.99 for it now.
Oh god!
Yeah.
No one's paying. No one's
So
paying money to watch Ring
no,
Warriors. Nobody.
no. So
Speaking of
yeah, so that's my
one of your Ring
breaking
Warriors
news.
buddies is
Oh,
actually going to be on TV tonight.
who is?
Luke Hawks.
I mean, who's on TV?
No, he's going to be playing Stone Cold Steve Austin on Young Rock.
Oh, Luke Hawks. That's right.
It's going to be a recurring
That's right.
role.
I forgot about that.
I am
Yeah.
super curious. Like I like Luke.
Right.
You know, I met him through Jackie. I've never had a problem with him. Great guy. I am just super curious to see if he can actually act because I've seen him he pops up in movies all the time because he's a stuntman. So
Right.
he pops up. He's in one of the Wolverine movies where he gets claws up through his head and all this stuff. I every now and then I'll watch a random fucking shitty horror movie or something in the middle of the night, and he
Right.
pops up because when you do stuntman, also you play like they'll also give you a bit role somewhere where you're like a non-speaking part or a one line kind of, but whatever. But I just know he's got kind of that Louisiana type accent, and I'm dying to see
Right.
if he could do a Texas accent, if he's gonna actually. I mean, he must have been able to for them to have cast him, but
I mean, he's on TV,
but
right?
I'm dying to see him do a Stone Cold impersonation because
right.
you know, although he's playing Stone Cold before he's Stone Cold technically.
Right. Like this is Ringmaster.
At least for now. At least for now. So we'll see. But
Right.
but good for him. Like a recurring role on like one of the biggest shows on TV.
So my biggest thing when I saw that is if Jackie was alive today,
Oh my god.
what would the reaction be?
I mean,
What would the reaction be?
it would be. He would treat it like a Dolphins game. He would have started drinking at noon. He'd be up talking shit about his boy
Right.
on all the socials. And then he'd be up all night talking about it to people. And
Right.
and he'd drink for the next 2 days afterwards. He'd be celebrate, you know.
But you think he would like kind of take like a little credit for it?
For sure there's some like, there's going to be something like I always even if it was just always believed in him and he'll show that picture. There's that picture of him and Luke in the room with the belt from Ring Warriors, I think it is.
Right.
And they're like sitting there and it looks like a kind of like an important moment. Like they were having a big conversation or they were soaking something in or something was going on. I just always remember this picture because Jackie would use it sometimes when he would put over Luke.
Right.
And I think he would put that up to show, not only to prove to the world, like he likes to prove that he's somebody, Jackie. They're like, don't you know who I am? Everybody
Right.
knows me. So he would have done that. He would have posted that picture with Luke to just show everyone he knows Luke. And then he would put him over saying what he did, great job he did, how proud he is of him, how he always believed in him and blah, blah, blah.
Believed in him. Yeah.
And share and maybe even tie it into that picture. Because I think he had the belt in
Right,
that picture.
right.
Like even back when he won this title, I told him blah 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 yada yada.
Right,
Just make it
right.
a little bit about Jackie, not a lot, but always a little bit about Jackie.
He would add his own little spin in there about himself and how
Right.
he believed in him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure that would have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in a nice supporting way. It wouldn't have been like
Right. Not a dickhead way, right? Because
No.
he really liked Luke. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I've never watched the show Young Rock, so maybe I'll dabble in it tonight. But Nick has a basketball game tonight, so I tried to get out of going to Nick's basketball game because I had gone 2 weeks ago, and I missed the first game. He played great. I went to the second game. He blamed it on me that he played bad.
Right.
So last weekend, I didn't go. And he's like, "You're not coming?" I said, "No, I'm not coming to your games." He scored 28 and 43.
Oh yeah, just become your mom. You're becoming your mom. You don't want to mush him.
Yeah.
So you should
43 points.
Yeah.
So tonight he's like, "You're not coming?" I said, "No, because I come, you play like shit, and then you blame me, so I'm not coming." And he's like, "Well, I wanted you to film it." I was like, "No, pal, you can't tell me that I'm the jinx, and then you want me to film it because if you play bad, you're gonna blame it on me."
Hand your phone to anybody in there and film it.
Right, like you're gonna blame me. So
or set your phone.
So
take some stick-up tape and stick it to the wall and film it. Film the entire
There's two
game.
things. One, I thought about not going at all.
Yeah.
And then second, I thought about telling him I'm not going, but then kind of just sneaking in the corner, not going to sit in the bleachers and watching.
To make him see if it's all in his head.
Right, and then when he does good, I'm going to be like, "I was there the whole time, you motherfucker."
Yeah.
Now, if he does bad, I'm going to slip out and leave, and he'll never know I was there.
And you'll know.
Kind of
You'll know. That'll confirm you're the mush for sure.
Right. This is like kind of like a test
Uh-huh.
to see if I'm actually the mush or it's in his head.
It's not the litmus
at 8 o'clock.
This isn't the litmus test. This is the litmush test. We're going to
test. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to see if we're going to play this one by ear. Here, game's at 8 o'clock, so I got a little bit of time to decide.
So he's been like Jekyll and Hyde. It's Nikki buckets, Nikki slam buckets, Nikki no buckets. It's just back and forth. Now, I will say that I forgot to write this down, but you've brought it up, that I did see his douchey fucking TikTok the other day, Nick the Dick.
Oh, how bad is that?
About, the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, did I send it to you? Or
no, I just saw it. I was just scrolling through. About how he's like talking about, what was it? He was like, the text said something about a breakup or something, and how do you deal with it? And then it shows the scorecard from the game and how he blew up and got like 28 points or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, what is this dumb shit?
Oh, the best is he did make one. Of course, I sent it to like the whole family. He made one where he was like, when a light-skinned black girl says like, "My parents aren't there," and it's him in a car, like, "Be right over." And I commented and said, "But you don't even drive." He deleted the comments. So I was like, he was like, "You're not funny." I was like, "That's actually hilarious." He's like, "I deleted it." Well, in the meantime, Eric commented the same thing, and then he deleted Eric's comment too. So
should I go?
Yeah, I'm like, you don't even have a license.
I'm gonna have to go and comment on it then.
He doesn't have a license. Like, where are you driving? You ain't driving nowhere. Your daddy gonna drop you off? Like, come on. Yeah. So, but then I
felt uncomfortable from the start when you start describing it with him saying, "When a light skinned black girl." I'm like, what is he like? Right. Like, what are you? You're white, kid. Right. You don't get to talk about that shit.
Right. Like. Right, I'm like, well, first of all, every girl he's dated is a white country huckleberry, so I don't know what he's talking about.
He's trying to relate to his the kids on his team. I guess he doesn't have a lot of friends.
He's playing football now. He's playing football now too.
Oh, wait a minute. We never talked about this.
So they haven't hit yet. They haven't hit because
it's all no contact stuff at this time of the year.
It's just spring practice to play in the spring game, but it's like they're going like light because they don't want anybody to get hurt, and I'm like, light. I'm like, man, we were lighting each other up for 2 weeks in spring.
Yeah, but also you guys did 2 days with no water back then. I mean, it was
right. You're not allowed to do it. It's illegal. Right. Yeah. So they're doing like helmets, kind of only, like, no tackling kind of stuff. So he's playing receiver. But like we came out here the other night and he was like, "Hey, I want to run some routes." And, I'm like Marino in the pocket and I got a gun, but he runs. So I'm like, wait a second. How are you so fast right now? You literally run like a guy with a piano on his back in basketball games. You're out here running I'm like, I don't even understand how you're so fast right now, but so slow in basketball. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't even get it. Because he's fast and he can catch. He's got good hands, but I told him that first time he gets cracked in the back making a catch and his body fucking scorpions, he's going to be like, "I'm done."
So you're still betting against him, even though he's
100%.
even though he's catching on and he's
Right.
enjoying himself, and he even wants to run extra routes and apply
Right.
himself a little bit. You still think the first time he gets touched, he's gonna be
Oh,
he's
he's
gonna
done.
tap
He's
out.
done. Yeah, he's done. And then he quit his job already. So
What?
you know
Wait a
he no
minute.
longer
This
works.
is a whole like we got to catch up on all this
Yeah.
stuff. What?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
So
Wait.
so
Nicky no
he
jobs.
Nicky no jobs because he decided he was going to play football. Well, when he told the lady at work, she's like, I already made the schedule for the next 2 weeks. Like, you got to find somebody to cover your shift. So, of course, he couldn't find anybody Thursday or Friday, so he got written up. And I said, you better make a decision, pal. Either you're going to go in there like a man and say, hey, I can't work here and go get another job because you're not going to be jobless, or you're going to go to work and you're not going to play football. So he applied at a place here that's going to hire him once this little spring practice is done. That's like literally a mile down the road. And yeah, he's already out of a job. So I told him, you still got to go get your paycheck. And he went there and they told him his check wasn't in. I'm like, they're lying to you, dude. I'm like, you need to go in there and get your damn paycheck. Like, that's bullshit. So, or he got his paycheck and he's not telling me because he knows he owes me money. That could be the other thing. But, yeah, Nicky no jobs now. So
Nicky no job.
Yeah. So, but then I hit him with the harsh reality of, like, I think, you think it's cool not to have a job. That's great. So, you're going to have, when the school year starts in August, you're going to be paying your own cell phone bill. So that was like his asshole puckered up. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you pay your own cell phone bill. So, I was like, you better get a job, man. So he's like, oh, I applied. They're going to start after, going to work at Shane's Rib Shack. I'm like, you went from working in an easy retail environment to go and work with food. Like, that's the
food
dumbest thing you could do.
services. Yeah, that's rough.
The worst. Oh, but my friends work there. I was like, I mean, what are you going to do? Jerk each other off? I was like, come on. Like,
Yeah, you guys have to
can't
work.
with
It's not
them.
like you're gonna have so much time to like fuck. Yeah, like you
That
said,
place
jerk
is
each other
so
off.
busy. It's
Yeah.
so busy. I'm like, you're an idiot. So
Plus, what's he
we'll
gonna
see.
do there?
He doesn't even know. But he got
He
got
can't
to
wait
come to Jesus
tables.
talk this week.
He can't wait
No,
tables.
they don't even do wait. It's counter service.
Ah. Oh
So
yeah.
he
So
got
he
to
could
come to Jesus. This
he could
week.
be a register banger or something. Yeah.
Right, but he got to come to Jesus talk. When I told him, I said, you are going to be 18 in December. I said, the minute you graduate high school, your options are you're going to college or you're going to work a full, not hanging around my house, being a lazy fucking bum. So, like, reality is going to smack you in the face, and you decide that you're going to be mother, because you ain't going to be doing that here,
Yeah.
laying around the house. So,
Yeah. Well, you listen. You could tell him rent's gonna be $500 a month.
yeah, no, for real.
And I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not feeding you. I'm not this. I'm not that. Go get a job.
right,
Yeah, I love it.
right.
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, we'll see.
It's
We'll see what happens.
it's crunch
But,
time for your boy.
Yeah. So, yeah. So whatever. Couple little things I have in here. I just wanted to just to make a mention. So you're talking about farting. You reminded me at work today. I was standing behind someone, and I was like in the other office, and they were kind of like it's like maybe 3 steps across, and he was talking to someone, and he's having a conversation with somebody, hand on the wall, and I kind of just turned around to kind of just see what the conversation was, and he must have thought the guy that his ass was facing me, he must have thought that he could sneak a fart out, and it just literally went, and the conversation dead stopped. He him and the guy just stopped talking. The guy's like, whoa, and it was just like a natural reaction from the other guy because I mean when someone farts, you react like we're still children,
Right.
and he didn't know I was behind him, so the guy went whoa, and I went oh, and I turned around at the wrong time. He turned around, he's like, holy shit, I didn't know you were behind me. I was like, you thought that one could squeak out, didn't you? He's like, I did not think it was going to come out like that. I mean, it was literally and the three of us were just, I couldn't stop laughing. I just started laughing. And the three of us were hysterically laughing because, I mean, it's a fart. It's funny. It's never not going to be funny.
Right.
But I walked right into it. I literally turned around and took 2 steps.
Good.
And it was like, and I'm like,
Good.
I was like an inch from him.
I hope you got a mouthful.
I did, but it was funny. Second thing I wanted to talk about is, this TikTok fame.
Oh.
It's taking a toll on me. In the
Oh my
workplace
God.
No, let me tell
Oh
you
my
this.
god.
I got put on a conference call today, and it was like uh video like LinkedIn discussion. So I I get on the call and it's just me, my boss's boss, like the third in charge, and then some girl that's like higher up than me. So it's like three very high ups in my company and me. And they're like, we want to start this LinkedIn page. And I was like, yeah, we've already started. They already started it. And they're like, so we need your help. And then there's just like silence. And I'm like, I clicked on the microphone. I said, you're asking me? Like, you're talking to me? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what do you need? And he's like, I mean, you're the viral guy. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, I
Nobody
think you
goes
guys are
viral on
mistaken.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not a
Right.
viral thing.
Right. And I said, I think you guys are mistaken. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I eat food. Like, like I eat food. And
And
I
dance
like,
sometimes.
right. And I said, I don't even edit them. I mean, I really just wing it. Like, there's no grace or anything to this. Like, I literally, and they're like, no, but like, he pulls up my TikTok. You have 300,000 followers. Like, I watch all your videos. Like, I said, yeah, but you're asking me to do something that's like totally out of my realm. And they're like, yeah, no, like, you're going to be over this project. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I was like, what are we, trying to do? So they explained to me what they're trying to do on LinkedIn. And I'm like, LinkedIn's a different atmosphere, man. Like, this isn't like, you know, this isn't TikTok. So they're like, well, we just need your ideas. So I just shoot off a whole bunch of ideas today. So writing them down, writing them down, writing them down. And at the end, he goes, okay, cool. So you're going to be in Pittsburgh next week. And I said, yeah, I'll be there Monday through Friday. They're like, okay, so you have to film some stuff. And I was like, whoa. Like, what do you, like, they're like, well, all the ideas you just came up with. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be on camera. So they're like, well, who? Well, so the girl that was on there, I was like, you're going to be on camera. And she was cool with it. She's like, okay, but you got to guide me. Like, I don't know what to do. So at the end of this whole call, I am now in charge of this project because they think that I'm a social media guru. The pressure that's on me, because there came a point like halfway through the conversation, I was like, okay, I mean, there's no getting out of this.
But
I started to
how
embrace
does
it.
this fall under the description of your job?
Nothing to do with my job at all.
So
Like zero.
so
Yeah.
at what point is it appropriate or inappropriate, or where's the line to say this has I'm not you don't pay me to do this. This
So
is like Kevin
right,
Hart when he says, when you hire me to do a movie, you're paying me to do the movie. You're not paying me to then promote it on my socials that I built. If you want me to do that as well, that's a different price tag. You know what I mean?
right. So I didn't say anything today, but I was like, okay, I said, look, I can help you guys. I said, but I'm not going to be the guy on camera. I will tell you what to do and I will come up with the ideas, but I'm not going to be the guy on camera. I will just give you the ideas. So one of the ideas I
Right,
gave
because now
them
you
was
have an
to,
agent that would get you paid to be on the camera for your company for these
and
videos.
I told him I'm not doing it. And I
Right.
told them today, I said, I have an agent now. You'll have to talk to my agent. And they started laughing. And I was like, yeah, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get me to do this for free, but for now, I'll help them out, whatever. But, they said, well, maybe something can come out of this. And I was like, okay, look, I'll help. But the ideas I gave them wasn't ideas that I was going to do. It was ideas for them to do.
Right.
So next week, I guess, which I'll be in Pittsburgh next week all week. So we're going to have to figure out this podcast situation because I literally am gone Monday to Friday. So
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck where you are. You just have to be available on
I
the
got
phone.
things. I got things going all night. I got
Yeah,
things going all day.
busy.
Busy man over there.
You may have to
I'll be signing autographs at the corporate office.
You may have to
So
set an
me
alarm and wake up early and fucking do one with
me
me.
and Val Venus, the girl from the Val Venus thing, she works there.
From the
Choppy
Valvinus
Choppy
thing.
PP. I never told you that.
Whoa. Rerun. Completely rerun this.
So the girl from the Val Venus skits back in the day where they choppy his PP,
Wait,
the female,
Mrs. like Nakamura-san or whatever her name was?
yeah, she works for my company.
I forget what the name was. It was something like Mrs. Yamaguchi-san, right?
Yeah, she works in the corporate office at my company. She's like a higher up.
What?
they told me this, and I was like, wait, what? They're like, do you know her? I was like, I have no idea who she is,
I
but I
know of
know who
her.
she is because I remember the skit. And they're like, yeah, she's like a buyer, like a top buyer or something. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And they're like, no, yeah, she. So the day I was there, we went to go see her, and she wasn't in the office that day.
Oh.
So I'm like, I have to meet her. Like, I have to meet her in person. I have to meet
This
this
is
Miss Yamaguchi-san.
for anyone that's not aware of what we're talking about. There was this in the at like the height of the Attitude Era in wrestling.
Right.
The WWE had a character called Val Venus, and he was supposed to be a wrestling porn star, and he had
Right.
this deep voice, and he said, "Hello, ladies," and he would come to the ring in a white towel, like he just got done banging or was about to bang,
Right.
but I don't worry. It applied. He was freshly showered from a bang or freshly showered for a bang.
Right. Right.
I wasn't exactly clear on the towel part of it, but
Right.
for whatever reason, that implied for them that it was part of his porn outfit. I don't know. So anyway,
Right. Right. Right.
he would take it off, and he had these purple small trunks underneath, purple and gold or whatever, and he, you know, he was
Gyrating hips. Yeah,
hugely
yeah.
over, hugely over, and at one time he feuded with this little Japanese faction of wrestlers called Kai
Right.
and Tai,
Kai and Tai.
and
Right.
I think who was in that group? Takamichinoku.
Takamichinoku,
Was our number one SmackDown
Funaki.
announcer Funaki was in
Yeah,
it?
Funaki.
All right, those
and
two.
then there was one other guy.
Another
Maybe
guy.
Dick Togo or something.
But was it
yeah.
also was Sonny Ono part of that, or was that not? Was he never?
Yes. Yeah.
Or was he only a W? No, or was he? No, it was Yamaguchi.
No. I don't know if it was Sonny Ono, but there was a guy. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who
It was Mr. Yamaguchi, I think. I think the
Right,
name was.
right.
If I made up the wrong Japanese name, I apologize. I think it was Yamaguchi. I don't know. But anyway, I think this storyline eventually evolved into Val Venus seducing the manager's wife, Mrs. Yamaguchi.
Right.
And then at some point, I mean, this is like, for people in the Attitude Era, this is like, people forget about it, but then when you mention it, everyone remembers it, that they remember it. There was this classic thing where they had abducted Val Venus, and they had him tied up by his wrists, and he's standing there like just like kind of hanging, standing kind of, and
Right.
they like tease these things, and as they're going off the air, they're like they're showing his back, and allegedly his penis is on a table there, and they're about to choppy his pee-pee is the way they put it.
They said.
With a samurai sword. And I think as they're like they're swinging back to chop, the like lights go out. There's a scream.
Door opens.
You hear a
chop.
You hear a chop sound. You hear a scream, and it goes to black, and you don't know what happens till the next episode. And it was like literally you're talking about they were gonna do a castration on the air of a wrestling show. I mean, this is pro wrestling, people. This is so pro wrestling. Yeah. It makes all other pro wrestling wish it was pro wrestling. This is how pro wrestling this fucking scene was. And it's like you got these Japanese guys, and you're not sure. Like, I think you're not sure whether because again, it's pro wrestling. The manager, the one that's supposed to do the talking, whatever, if he's actually putting on a fake Japanese accent or if he really talks, because you always got to be suspicious of that shit. Especially like the Indians as well. Whenever they have Indian characters, you're never quite sure whether they speak perfect English or if they're putting on like an Indian accent for the benefit of, TV and whatever. So this guy is just threatening to choppy his pee-pee. I mean, it's like so 90s.
She had an affair with Val Venus.
So 90s racist, but like totally appropriate. Like racist stereotypes survived longer in pro wrestling than it did in the rest of the world, if you know what I mean. So it's like it's cringeworthy now, but back then it was so like just crazy and entertaining, and you're just caught up in it. It was. I can't believe this woman works for your company.
Okay, let me tell you. So here's the story. Just so everybody gets. I'm reading it because I had to refresh myself. So in the group was Takamichi Noko. It was it
Funaki.
was Funaki, it was Men's Teo, and it was Dick Togo.
Yeah.
And then the manager was Mr. Yamaguchi's son.
It was
not
Yamaguchi.
Sonny
Okay.
Ono. Right. It was his name. I guess they called him Wally, was his American name, and her name was Miss Yamaguchi. But she wrestled on. Her name is Shin Lee Sang, and she wrestled under the name of Kyoko
Whoa, whoa,
Yamaguchi. She
whoa!
was a
She's
worker.
she wrestled too. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Like, oh my
So
god, you got to get. I feel
and
like
she was
you got to get a rapport with her so we can talk to her on the podcast about this.
well. So here's what the story was. The story was is she was Mr. Yamaguchi's son's wife in the storyline,
Right.
and she was the sister of Takamichi Noko, but
Okay.
had an affair with Val Venus. And Mr. Yamaguchi discovered the affair when he was shown a video of his wife and Val in bed. It was during the remember when Goldust they used to have those like GTV
Mm-hmm.
and the
It
TV
was like
was
hidden spy cameras.
hidden camera,
Yeah.
right, of Val Venus and her. So she was on from June through August that year, the 2 months, and then they dropped her from television after that. But yeah, she's literally, it's crazy that and I don't even know if she works for the company anymore because, I hadn't seen her. This was like 2 years ago or so, when I was there. But she may not even work there anymore. I'm actually looking her up on LinkedIn, and let's see. Yeah, so she's no longer there anymore.
Oh man,
So yeah, I know.
this sucks.
It sucks.
You never got to actually
Could have
like interact and just be like you don't even understand like when I was
Right.
watching this as a kid and you were choppy the PP.
She's now the VP Consumer of Product Marketing for Paramount Pictures.
Wow.
Right. Well, that's what I said. She was like a director of marketing for us.
Heavy.
Like very high up.
Heavy hitter, huh?
Oh yeah, she worked for the company for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took those stock options and split
Probably a multi-millionaire at this point.
probably.
Yeah. Nothing in her thing says that she was a wrestler, though. That's the best part.
She doesn't put that she was a brief member of Kai and Tai from June to July or whatever it was.
I just gave her a follow on LinkedIn, though. I just gave her a follow.
Oh.
So, yeah, But, yeah, choppy pee pee. That's the line right there. That's what they were going to do. So, yeah, that sucks that she's not there.
Are we good? Is that the title of the episode? Choppy your pee pee?
Choppy pee pee. I mean, that'll get people to watch. Listen.
People ready to cancel us. People ready to cancel us.
Yeah.
Can you be canceled?
Pee-pee.
Can you be canceled if you were never like a thing?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, can you?
Let's find out.
But, choppy pee pee.
Do you remember? Do you actually even remember a time before cancel culture and trigger warnings at this point?
No, it's been so long.
It was funny.
I couldn't even tell you.
I went to click on. I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and how they have like suggested videos on the right or something, and
Right.
there was one was like it was like some music. I think I was watching a music video, and some other music videos came up, and I was like, oh, I haven't like actually listened to Pearl Jam in a long time. There was the video for Jeremy was there, and literally has a trigger warning because of like suicide. Because it sings about it and it portray, like the video and the song are about a real story of this kid that shot himself in front of his classmates, and there's like a trigger warning on it. And I'm just like, do you remember like when MTV back in the day actually aired that fucking 10 times a day? There was never a trigger warning or anything like that. I think at some point along the way they started to put like after a show that. Or a video or whatever that dealt with certain topics, you would have a still screen with some text that says, if you know anyone that's feeling suicidal, blah, 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 call this number. That's it. But never like ahead of the time, like trigger warning, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Like everything's a trigger warning now. Everything's triggerable.
It is.
Oh
right.
Like a 20-year-old Pearl Jam song. It's like, what the like 20, more than 20 years old at this point, I think. I think that was like,
right.
Well, no, about 20 years probably. Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened, man? What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
No, it was late.
I don't
Wait,
know.
that was like 90. What was that? 91, maybe. Yeah, 90. So like more, definitely more than 20 years. I don't know, man.
I
I
don't know
want to bring
either.
us down
It's
a
a very,
downer,
but yeah,
but
it is.
there.
I
So
feel bad for these like kids like today, and just like I don't know everything. I just feel bad. They are not living life like we live life
no,
at all. No,
everything's trigger warning, cancel
oh,
culture,
they got to tiptoe on
nerf,
everything, right?
nerfed and bubble wrapped and
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
man. Just drink.
I mean, you
Go drink.
speaking about Nerf guns, I saw
Go
this is a
drink
true
some water.
story.
I'm not Nerf guns. I just mean nerfed. Like everything's
Oh, but
covered
you're
in
saying
Nerf.
Nerf, and this. No, I know, but you made me think of Nerf guns and how even sensitive society is to this. That I was in line picking up the kids from school one day, and a couple of the kids had a little Nerf gun war, and the school cop went out there and like stopped them all and like grabbed them like they were under arrest almost and brought them inside and called their parents. And I'm like, man, it's like, oh, we couldn't tell. I'm like, it's clear that it's a fucking Nerf gun. It's a big orange and
Bright
green gun.
orange,
Like,
yellow. Yeah, it's
right. Like, and like Nerf guns are dangerous. And I'm like, when the fuck? Like, what? Like, I've been hit in the eye with those
they're
motherfuckers.
like
Like that.
they are designed to not be dangerous.
Right. But have you lived if you've not been hit with one in the eye before? Or, if somebody shot you in the ass? Like, I mean, come on. Like, it's so everybody's so sensitive and so just uptight. But that's why the kids are the way they are. I mean, I'll end it with this because we're going super fucking long today. But
Well,
Nick's friends were over, and I had to get into their ass this week because I get a knock at my door, and two of my neighbors are like, "Hey, whose cars are those?" And I said, "It's my son's friends." They're like, "Well, they're driving through the neighborhood like assholes." And I'm like, "Really?" I go, "Because I told them last week, don't do that because you're gonna fucking piss me off." And they were like, "Yeah, whatever," like being jerk offs. I'm like, "Nick, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get an ass whooping for them." So I go inside and I said, "Hey, y'all come downstairs right now." So they come down and I said, "I just lost my shit. Like, they're not even my kids and I don't care." I'm like, "You motherfuckers." I'm like, "I told you do not drive down my neighborhood like that, and you did." And I said, "You're embarrassed me. I'm fucking pissed off." I said, "This is your last warning. You drive through this neighborhood like that one more time, you're no longer welcome here." And the one kid starts to talk back to me. And I'm like, the other kid was just like, "Yes, sir." The other kid's like 6'5", too. He's like 350 pounds. He could crush me. He was just going, "Yes, sir." The other kid starts talking back to me. And I'm like, I got like me and he's 18. So like he's a senior. We got into it. Like I was screaming at him and I was like, "You fucking talk back to me." I was like, if I called your parents, and told them you were sitting here talking back to me and driving fast through a neighborhood with kids playing, like, what are they going to say? He's like, "Well, I just got the Camaro. Like, I don't want to lose it." I was like, "Well, then smarten the fuck up, dude, because that's what's going to happen. Because if it don't happen here, it's going to happen somewhere." And all I could think about is this little motherfucker talked back to me. I was so mad for days. I was livid that he talked back to me. And I'm like, I would have never, ever done that. But society has made these kids that way. Like,
well,
they made that kid this way.
It's okay. It's. I don't want to get to Dr. Phil here, but and plus we're wildly over here, but
Right.
But it's two things. It's somewhere along the line, parents were afraid to not be their kids' friends, so they let them get away with everything because they didn't want them mad at them. They didn't want them mad at them. They didn't parent them. Like if you're a good parent and you raise your kid right, if your kids don't like you because you're an asshole to them all the time, that's probably a good fucking thing most of the time. If it's because of parenting, not because you're just a dick.
Right.
But also it's part of this like fucking internet tough guy fucking culture we have now, where everyone
right.
Like Mike Tyson said, too many people are talking tough online that have never been hit in the face, kind of deal. So this kid, it's a combination of the two, probably. Like parents let him get away with talking to him like that and blah blah blah.
He's
and
driving a brand new Camaro, for Christ's sake.
Right.
He doesn't fucking work.
Right.
So
spoiled kid, and also that he probably fucking gets away with talking back to people all the time online, and probably in school and like there's no repercussions for anyone in school, with your own parents, with anybody they fucking run
Right,
into,
right.
because
Well,
it's not
this is
like
the kid on the
it's not like
basketball team that.
well, hold on, it's
Yeah.
not like you can fucking backhand the kid for talking back to you because it's in your
Right.
house. You know, even in the '80s, it would be that would be a stretch, but you could probably get
Right.
away with it. You know,
Right. Well, and parents back then would have been like, if he deserved it, he deserved it. You know, like growing up in my neighborhood. I mean, first of all, I never disrespected adults, and
So
second of all,
you're more.
if I got out of line, but my neighbors, like, they had all the right and privilege. If I was got out of line and disrespectful, they could put me in line, and my parents would have been like, they wouldn't have been going after these. They would have been like, he
Wouldn't have
probably fucking
questioned
deserved
it.
it.
Wouldn't have questioned it. I know you too well. You
No.
deserved it.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
That's what they would have said.
No questions asked. It would have been like nowadays, you got, I was watching these videos on TikTok where like, my kid, you just stopped my kid because you thought he was part of a robbery, and I'm like, people are like, what's the story? Well, the kid really did rob the store, so yes, they stopped him, but he's only 15, and I'm like, shut. You're a parent. You should be like, if my kid fucked up, he fucked up. Like,
Right.
like, I mean, and Nick may be a dick, but my kids don't disrespect other adults. Like they just know better. Like that's just not what we do. Like, and I tell Nick all the time, just always say yes, even if you feel like you're not in the wrong or there, just say yes sir, yes ma'am. That's it. Like an adult is telling you for a reason that you did something wrong. Like, don't disrespect him. But this kid was like, he hasn't been back here since, mind you. But the other kid came back, and the big kid, and I said, hey, I shouldn't have yelled at you. You're not my kid. I kind of, got a little angry, and he said, no, sir, I totally understand and respect what you were saying. It'll never happen again.
Right.
That's it. Done. So I'm like, now I got respect for this kid. I was like, I like this kid. He is raised right because he knew he was wrong. He apologized, said it'll never happen again. And that was it. Like,
Yeah.
the other kid hasn't been back here.
Yeah, but so I'm saying, like, you have more patience than I do, because even with that kid who, like, you just got done saying, if this ever happens again, you're not welcome back here, and he fucking gives you lip, I would have been like, all right, you're not welcome back here starting now. This kid gets another chance. Get the fuck out of my house. And I would have kicked the kid out right then and there. But you're a little more patient and nicer, and I guess you respect Nick a little bit in terms of, like, you don't want to fucking, fuck up all his friendships and what.
Well, he got embarrassed. And he started to.
Yeah, but Nick always gets
like,
embarrassed. He's fucking.
But he kind of tried to defend his friend because he got embarrassed, and I literally turned to him and I said, "Shut the fuck up! You have nothing to do with this. You don't want to get involved." And he was like, went outside. He's like, "Okay." Yeah. So I was like, "You don't want to. This is not the sort you want to die on, my friend.
Right.
Not today."
to quote Blake Chadwick, I don't want to. I'm not going to die on that hill.
Right. Oh God. There's the shot. There it is.
Snuck it in right at the buzzer.
Yeah. Right.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, I gotta take Nick to basketball.
Yeah. Let me know about this this whole, like, am I there, am I not there thing. How it works out, the experiment.
All right.
The litmus test.
Litmus test. Goodbye.
Bye.